Hello, Internet. This is Ewan Spence and ESC calling, and it looks like once more we are faced with the eternal Eurovision question of the 21st century. What if love was a crime? Coming up, we open up to Bulgaria, we open up to the orchestra, and we open up to Monty and Matt's second cherry. Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Ewan Spence here with a news roundup from the world of the Eurovision Song Contest and everything else that surrounds it. From the team at escinsight.com, welcome. It's been a rather quiet October, but we'll catch up. We've got bundled news, we've got new countries, we got another artist name in the mix as well, and we've even got the option to buy some tickets, not for the main contest, that is coming soon, but for everything else around it. Let's head over first to Geneva and see what the EBU has for us. Well, let's start with the entry list. Our best guess at the moment is 41 broadcasters entering the Eurovision Song Contest 2020. So Hungary are no longer using Adele as a selection show. There's lots to talk about withdrawal, but as we record this, nothing is 100% confirmed. There might still be an internal selection. There might be another show. We're not quite sure. At the moment, we do have Hungary on the withdrawn list, but it's only in pencil. It might take us to 42, so we'll keep an eye on that situation for you. Ukraine are returning after the shenanigans of last year, and Bulgaria are returning after the absence of last year. Although the Eurovision Song Contest has been a drain on the budget of public broadcaster BNT, the announcement of Bulgaria's return also noted that the entry and associated costs will be borne by a soon-to-be named sponsor. As for the artist, we will be hearing the name on Monday, November the 25th. Already, some popular Eurovision artists who've represented Bulgaria before are teasing and posting up the occasional pictures on Instagram. We have no idea who's going, but we're just going to watch all the speculation build up throughout the month. As always, Bulgaria getting that PR hype train going, if not necessarily the automatic qualifications to Saturday night's show that you sometimes see with other countries. Right then, well, as always, we know it's Rotterdam, May 12th, May 14th for the semi-final, 16th the grand final. You know that bit. You know the hotel prices are still high. You know, be careful when you're booking, try and get refundable ones. And you also know, don't buy tickets for the Eurovision Song Contest out yet. They're not out. You'll be buying from touts, people buying futures. Watch the official website for details. Although, skip ahead, tickets are out for Melody Festival, and there is an official website for that, but we'll come to that in a moment. What we do have out of Rotterdam is this year's slogan. It is intentionally incomplete. No, that's not the slogan, although intentionally incomplete actually might be a fun slogan. No, that's a note from executive event producer Sitsi Bakker. The slogan is open up. The idea, of course, being that you can open up to whatever you choose. You can open up to music, you can open up to Rotterdam, you can open up to the complete breakdown of televoting numbers so you have a transparent voting system, you can open up to freedom, you get the idea, that sort of things. As well as the slogan, we know that there are a few names in the running for host. We're not going to list them all off until we get full confirmation, because nothing is confirmed at the moment. Although strong indications that we're going to have a Eurovision Song Contest running in a 3-host configuration in Rotterdam. One thing that has been confirmed is that the voting split between jury and the public vote is going to remain at 50-50. There is a provision in the rulebook for this to change to any percentage, 52-48 for example. But after workshopping and discussions with broadcasters, the EBU have announced that there will be no change. We're staying in a straight 50-50, nicely balanced split for 2020. Okay, we're nearly in November. By the time you listen to this podcast, it might actually be November, and it's the month of the Junior Eurovision Song Contest 2019, taking place on Sunday, the 24th of November in Gliwice Arena in Poland. Main arena, tickets are on sale, looking about 11,000 capacity on that one, with all the gubbins and staging and stuff put in. The opening ceremony of this year's Junior Eurovision will be held in Silesian Theatre in Katowice on Monday, November the 18th. Even though the show itself will be in Gliwice, Thursday. Most delegations are going to be staying in the larger city. It's only about 30 kilometres away from the venue, so everyone can just jump on the bus or the regular train service. For those of you watching at home, the opening ceremony will be broadcast on junioreurovision.tv, so you can watch along live. Voting will also be 50-50. Here it's 50% during, 50% online. And like last year, the opening window is going to open on Friday the 22nd. We suspect around 6 p.m, but we're not quite sure yet. It will close just before the show opens on Sunday the 24th, and then it will open again in the traditional window in the show. That's going to put an emphasis on online activity and support, strong official videos, and essentially a get out the vote campaign by fans of each artist. Poland's 2018 entrant at the adult contest, DJ and record producer Gromy, is also going to be rocking up at Junior Eurovision. He's composing the theme tune for this year's contest. It matches up with Slogan, obviously, so we will have a new Eurovision song called Share the Joy to head onto your playlists. In terms of national final results for the adult contest, yep, we switched back again. Technically no competitive results, but over in Slovenia, EMA Fresh is running. That's the Fresh New Music Contest. This newcomers contest, the two winners are going to get two of the slots into the EMA national final itself. So it's a competition to get a result, to get into the competition where we would call it a competitive result to select Eurovision. We're going to watch out for the winning pair. We'll announce them, and that's going to be the sort of balance on that one. And you can follow along with that on RTV SLO's website. So, in terms of selections, we do have some news. Yay! And we have a singer from Spain, an internal selection this year. 27-year-old singer of Blas Canto will be representing the country. Formerly in the band Aaron, and that band entered the Spanish national final in 2011. And Blas himself entered the Junior Eurovision national final in 2004. So lots to go. This is essentially his third go, and he's getting straight through to the contest. No word yet on the song, but we want to get a little bit of flavour. Complicados, his second album, was released in September, so you can have a spin through on the tracks there. He is going to be joining the Belgian entry of Europhonic, who were announced in time for our last podcast. And long-time fan of the band, Derek Sillard, and friend of the Parish Racians, has written about his hopes for Europhonic and the fears about their appearance at the song contest over on the mains website. You can have a little read of that after you've listened to the podcast. Right, we're stacking up the news from the countries now, so as always in roughly alphabetical order, which means we get to start with Albania as we have more information on Festival Kenya. It's expected to be the first national final, so, you know, there's 7 weeks where somebody can surprise us, but there we go. Semi-finals will be on December the 19th and December the 20th. The final will be running on Sunday, December the 22nd. We do have a listing of this year's roster of artists. There are some familiar names in there. Eurovision 2008's alumni Alta Boca and Festival Kenya's stalwart Boyan Leko and Kamela Ismaj are alongside two of Unida Malik's backing singers. Tide Yoshi and Wendy Mankau are in the mix as well. Over in Croatia, just as we sat down to record the podcast, Dora was announced will be the selection show for Eurovision 2020 for Croatia. Submissions for Dora open up on November the 5th. It'll close on December the 16th, and the broadcast is looking for 16 runners to be selected to go towards Dora. No more details yet in terms of dates or venues as such. Again, we will keep an eye on that for you. News is starting to pile in. We'll get more regular podcasts. It's all building up. Czech Republic, there's a changing of the guard over in Prague. Jan Bors, head of delegation, is stepping down from the broadcaster. He's been at the helm of the country's participations in 2016 and helped bring the Czechs to their first Eurovision Saturday night final. No word yet on replacement, and the country is still confirmed as participating in Rotterdam. National final scheduled for January the 25th, and we wish good luck to Jan in his future ventures. Over in Estonia, their venues have been confirmed for SD Lau. Surprise, surprise, the semi-finals are back in Tartu at the University of Tartu Sports Hall, February 13th and February the 15th. And the grand final will be in its traditional home of the Saccu Sur Hall on the 29th of February as well. France Television's head of entertainment has confirmed there will be a national selection show for the French entry, but the format is still under discussion with the team that put together Destination Eurovision. So there's going to be some changes. More details, as you would expect, when we have them confirmed. So we've already mentioned Hungary at the top of the show as being in the withdrawal list, but we're not quite sure. The changes to Adal to represent Hungarian music more may be signalling the country withdrawal from Eurovision 2020, but it's going to be highlighting local talent for domestic audiences, not to find something for an international competition. Whether that means the obvious jump to Hungary is withdrawing altogether, an internal selection, maybe, or maybe it's just moving around from the same way that Estonia went from Eurolau to STLau, and there's going to be a new contest. There's lots to be What's sure is the EBU know, because the forms will have already been submitted, so they'll know if Hungary's got one or not. But there's no need for the EBU to actually announce who's actually submitted those forms yet. So wait for confirmation on the Eurovision.tv website or from the broadcaster. Anything else is just a bit of smoke and mirrors, to be honest. Iceland. Let's get over there. Submissions for Song Contest, they closed on October the 17th. 157 entries were received for Iceland's national final. That's up some 30 or so songs on those who submitted the songs last year. 10 songs and artists are going to be selected for the TV show. They are going to be announced in January. Songs in the semi-finals must be sung in Icelandic, and your performance in the grand final must be whatever language you want to sing at Eurovision in. So if you want to sing in Icelandic at Eurovision, you've got to sing in Icelandic in the grand final of Song Contest, and ditto if you want to sing in English as well, or if you wanted to sing in Swahili. Right, why? I have no idea why I'm over Swahili. Anyway, Italy. Major changes at Sanremo, and as always, let's just put the big flag up first. Sanremo is for Italy, not for Eurovision. The fact that it helps select a Eurovision song matters almost not a jot. Because that's one of the changes at Sanremo. Artists are now obliged to confirm or decline to the broadcaster RAI whether they are interested in Eurovision before the start of the Tuesday night show, so the first live broadcast. At that point, they've got to say, if we win, we will go, or if we win, we will not go. So we will not have that sort of 2-week wait for confirmation and humming and hawing and everything. Look, this is a good thing. It solidifies everything. It makes that process a little bit easier. It means that you can get that social media roller coaster going. If the winner is going to Eurovision, you don't have that awkward pause. But it does mean that we have to say goodbye to a big Sanremo tradition, which is the first question at the winner's press conference will always come from friend of the parish, Eddie Anselmi, and will always be, will you do the Eurovision Song Contest? Or at least it has been for the last, since Italy came back. That question's not going to be needed this year. Anyway, what else do we have from Sanremo? Oh, fun and games with the voting. You're going to love this. Right, the first two nights, because it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way through. First two nights will be voted on by the demoscopic jury, and that's a jury that RAI put together along with the Italian music industry. It's about 300 people or so previously, to represent a cross-section of the public who enjoy music. So the first two nights, half the songs on one night, half the song on the second night. We'll get votes on that. Night 3 is going to be covers night, and that will be voted on by members of the orchestra. Yes! Finally! That another reason to bring them back. Night 4 is going to be voted on by the press room and the demoscopic jury and a televote and the orchestra. And the final will also be an amalgamation of all the previous night's votes, and then pulling together the jury, the press poll, the public televote, the orchestra, all of that. They'll find the top 3. It'll go to a super final, and then I think the super final is like a televote again, and the press vote and the demoscopic vote going through as well. Got that? It's all right. RAI have a spreadsheet and a formula and lots of stuff, and I'm sure we will delve into that deeper. We haven't even brought up the newcomers contest yet either, and that's having fun and games too. Anyway, just remember, Sanremo is for Italy, even though it's great fun, and I personally do encourage you to watch it and enjoy it. Eurovision at the end of it. If you're not up for a great big Italian mega mix of music and culture and awards and rescue dogs being given a medal, then just tune in for the last half hour. You will be fine. You'll miss a lot of great music though. Over in Greece, a committee has been set up by broadcaster ERT, and that committee has ruled out a national final. There were some thoughts in the middle of the month that there would be. It's going to be an internal selection, but whether that will be like an internal heat or an internal selection or just this artist. Again, that remains to be seen. Netherlands, we already know, are going to be doing an internal selection to find out who's going to be singing with home advantage. And the first round of the listening committee's work is already underway. But we have no indications at all on who is being considered. Sweden, tickets are on sale for all of the Melody Festival and shows, and it's through ticketmaster.se. Don't buy your tickets from anywhere else. Usual warnings apply. It is the 60th running of Melody Festival, so no doubt something special is going to be planned, especially when you get to the grand final. So tickets are available there, and there will be associated events running around Stockholm and all the other cities as well. Dates for Vibtir in Ukraine have been announced. Semi-final 1 is on 8th of February, semi-final 2 is on the 15th of February, and the grand final will be on 22nd of February. Of note, there is one new rule, which is essentially codifying the conditions that was applied to Maruv after her victory last year, which caused all aforementioned shenanigans. That's in the rulebook now, so it's clear for everybody who is entering. Right then, as already mentioned, we got a couple of things up on the website for you podcasters there as well, and we have Derek Silver's look at Hooverphonic. What does it feel like to a fan of a band who suddenly said they're going to be thrust onto the Eurovision stage? Also, we just want to draw your attention to the Second Cherry podcast from Monty and Matt, friends of the parish, over at secondcherry.vision. They've been going through the national finals from the 2019 contest, choosing one runner-up from each of the countries that had a national final. There is a big vote that you can do online, and there's a live recording that will take you through the results, and tickets are available on the website as well, secondcherry.vision, and we'll have a link back to that at our website. The dates, 24th of November is Junior Eurovision, so you expect us to have some Junior Eurovision coverage in the coming weeks on Insight. 15th of December, you can have a very Eurovision Christmas with tickets on sale between 40 and 80 euros for the Amsterdam Zegeroom's The Big Song Festival with a whole bundle of special guest stars from your favourite song contest. Staying with Amsterdam, Eurovision concert will be at the FAS Live once more, and it's going to be happening on 4th of April, and the pre-party ES Eurovision-Spain is having their preview concert over the 10th and 11th of April in La Riviera in Madrid. Tickets are going to be on sale soon. Early bird tickets are available, and OGAE tickets are also expected. Links to all of those are going to be back at eseinsight.com. Finally, this week we said goodbye to a familiar face in the Eurovision family. Natalia Prysheva, the eldest member of the Borovsky Babushkis, passed away at the age of 83. The lovable troupe of Russian grannies took Baku by storm in 2012, coming in second place that year. Prysheva, the littlest babushka, arguably the most famous, and if not the most adorably memeable. Our thoughts go out to her family and her friends. So, that's it. That's another ESC Insight News podcast. ESCinsight.com to keep up to date with the contest, the usual social media places. And as always, we have our guitars. ESC Insight News podcast was hosted by Ewan Spence, written by Ewan Spence and Samantha Ross. ESCinsight.com.